Hey y'all, it is now Sunday, July 13th. Well, actually, strictly speaking, it's just after midnight on Monday, July 14th, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that I have just successfully completed, by the skin of my teeth, mind you, another week of this 12-week writing challenge, writing 10,000 words per week. Man, what a ass kicking this last one was. I essentially had to cram in 9,500 words in 2 days. And I spent a lot of those 2 days under the assumption that I wasn't going to make it, but I really pulled it out. And so that is another punishment that I am able to throw in the garbage. But just as importantly, I crossed over the 30,000 word mark, which means I actually get to give myself my first reward. If you recall from my 12-week writing challenge video, I am setting myself up for a reward every 30,000 words. And since I crossed over 30,000, I get my first reward. And that first reward is I get to order a special edition of a book that I've had my eye on for a while, and I've already picked out which book it is. It is the Barnes & Noble special collector's edition of A Study in Drowning. I actually pre-ordered the sequel, A Theory of Dreaming, and that should be coming to me really soon. I think it's coming later this month. So now I'll be able to have both of them. There's a whole story behind my existing edition of A Study in Drowning. We'll talk about it later. I think I'm going to save ordering the book for tomorrow. And for now, it is time to pick a new punishment for week 4 of this challenge. So, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go to bed. I am so tired. All right, here we go. We're going to choose this one here on the bottom. And this one says, oh boy, deep clean the entire bathroom by myself. Yeah, well, it needs it. It does need it. I have a toilet that is sometimes leaky. I've got a shower that hasn't been scrubbed in far too long. And I've got a counter that is perennially cluttered. That would not be fun. Not fun at all. That's my punishment for the new week. I better get right back on the horse if I want to avoid it. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Just Another Struggling Writer, the Beleaguered Authors one-stop shop for commiseration and hopefully inspiration. My name is Carrie Scher, and I am just another struggling writer. And today is the start of week 4 of my 12-week writing challenge, trying to write 10,000 words every single week until draft 2 is done. And if you've been following along with my journey, you know that I am coming off of a week that was a little bit hectic, in which I had to cram in almost all of those 10,000 words into 2 days. And I am not looking to have a repeat performance this week, mostly because I'm going on a big family cruise at the end of the week, and I don't want to come back from that and have to cram in a bunch of work. I'd like to just finish out the vacation relaxing. But before we get into it, as a reminder, my name is Carrie, and I am currently writing draft 2 of what I hope will be my debut fantasy novel, Seekers of Empyrean. Seekers of Empyrean is a Monster of the Week-inspired urban fantasy about a young woman with a rare magical ability who is recruited by a secret government agency to hunt down and stop a growing threat to the magical community. As always, during this 12-week writing challenge, I do have a punishment that I am running away from this week. I don't want to show you the state of my shower right now, but that alone is motivation enough to frantically write this week. So now we've got the carrot, or is it the stick? Either way, it's motivation. And that brings us back to the present. And yeah, I don't know what happened yesterday. I got home from work a little late, actually, because I had a therapy appointment right after work. And so it was about 6:30. I don't have the kids this week. And so that always does tend to throw me off. I work much better in a routine of getting home and taking care of the kids and doing this, that, and the other. So I got home and I made myself a little something to eat, and I watched a little YouTube, and I did a little tidying up, and I sat down and I ate. And then, I don't know, at like 7:45, 8 o'clock, I was like, what if I just went and laid down in bed? And I really don't know what came over me, because like I wasn't even tired. I didn't even sleep, but I just came in and laid down for like 2.5 hours and just laid here and did nothing. And then finally it was like almost like 10:45. I was like, I better get up and do something, because I do have things I need to do, like packing and laundry and cleaning up the house and homework and writing. And anyway, so I got up and I edited a video, and that took me all the way till about 12:30. And then I went back to bed, and that was Monday. So already starting behind the 8 ball a little bit, but I am having the complete opposite experience today. As I was leaving work, I had a moment of panic where I was like, oh my gosh, all of my assignments are normally due on Sunday for school, but I'm going to be on a boat with no Wi-Fi on Sunday. And I really don't want to be doing homework on the boat either, which means I have assignments due essentially by Thursday. And I started to panic a little bit because it is now Tuesday. And one of the assignments is like a project milestone. And I was really, really worried about it. Like I had this sense like I don't understand the material. And so this is going to take me a long time. So I came home and I was sitting down getting ready to do schoolwork. And then I saw that Cody, the writer, was doing live streaming. And I was like, well, I really prefer to do writing during these live writing sprints. So I guess I'll do my writing first and then my homework afterwards. And so I did write a little bit. I think I got like 100 words in the first like 10 minutes of the first sprint. But then I just decided I was just going to go ahead and do my homework. I would at least take a look at it. And reader, viewer, friend of the show, I finished that project milestone before Cody was done live streaming. So less than 2 hours that it took to get that project milestone done. Couple of things. I'm smarter than I think I am, and I'm actually doing really well in this class. It's financial accounting. And B, look at me coming home and taking care of an obligation, and not a fun obligation, and that is in no way a hobby, right off the bat, and taking like a concern away off my plate and just throwing it away, because it is done. It is turned in. And that just filled me with such an incredible high. Such an incredible high of, I have my shit together, you guys. I have it completely together. So I rewarded myself with some dinner and some YouTube. I am really into Reads with Rachel again. I mean, I've always been into her and her reviews, but lately I've just been like binging them. And so I watched some of that, and now I'm here. I am ready to actually get started with the actual sprint of writing, which I'm very excited about. And it's only like, it's not even 9 o'clock yet. So I could be done with writing theoretically by like 10:30. And that, to me, is awesome. So I am done with my homework. I am done with my leisure. It's time to get back into my recliner and actually get the real meat of the writing done. I'm going to go get my tall boy Dr. Pepper. I'm going to go get comfortable, and I will check in with you once I am done with my writing for the day. All right, I am back again. It's just about 2 hours later, and the writing went okay, not great. I got a total of 711 words in 2 hours. But to be fair, I wasn't actually writing the whole time. As soon as I sat down, I got an idea for the next video I want to make, and I need to kind of put it together quickly so that I can have it scheduled to post while I am on the cruise. And so it just required some graphics, and so I made those. I spent like 45 minutes making the graphics and, working on the video instead of writing. But there was also I wouldn't call it blockage, just a little feeling of disconnect from the scene that I'm currently in, and a little bit of fatigue of the scene as well, wanting to get out of it. So I was having a little bit of trouble. I knew I didn't need much to finish it, but it took me a lot to get there in the end. I mean, a lot of effort. I mean, it was only 700 words to finish out the scene, which was over 3,000 words. But I'm done. I finished the scene. And now I need to do some brainstorming on how I want to approach the next one. So much context has changed that I want to think about if I want to take my original approach to this next scene or if I want to adapt. That requires me getting in bed and thinking about it. So I'm going to do that. We'll approach it all over again tomorrow. So that's it. Not a super impressive or exciting day, but movement, which is more than I could say for yesterday. I am going to go get undressed and get ready for bed, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hey y'all, it is now Wednesday evening at just about 10 o'clock. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was not actually intending on writing tonight. I just haven't really felt up to it. You know, we're kind of in the last few days before the trip and we're just getting all kinds of stuff ready, cleaning the house. I had to edit a video and I'm just feeling sort of tired. I also had to do a bunch of running around today, and then I had a clinical trial appointment, which always wears me out. You know, they take blood and it's like a 2-hour affair. Anyway, I needed to pre-film a video for you guys for Tuesday while I am on the cruise, and I didn't want to push it off until tomorrow because then I would have to also edit it tomorrow, and plus there's all the packing that I need to finish. So I sat down here at my writing desk, which I haven't really been at much in months. I did do the live stream from here the other day, but other than that, I haven't really used this desk for much. And I sat down and I filmed that video, and the video required me to look at my manuscript and the document. And I guess that's just a really long-winded way of saying that, I don't know, I think I will write for about 20 minutes. I don't anticipate getting 1,000 words today, for sure. I do think that I'll sit here and do a little bit. If for no other reason, then I'm here. I've already got everything set up. I've got my computer here. You know, I'm back in front of my keyboard that I haven't used in so long. You can see, like, I don't know if you can see this, but it's very like dusty because I haven't actually sat here in so long. I could go to bed, but I also could set a 20-minute timer and get some writing on. And I think that's not going to hurt me much if I delay bed by 20 minutes. So I'm going to set a little timer and I'm going to get a little writing done, and we'll see how much progress I can make. I definitely do not want to put myself in a situation where I'm coming back from the cruise. We'll be back on a Thursday, but I'm not counting that Thursday we're coming back towards writing. So technically it's just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I do not want to put myself in a situation like I did last weekend where I'm trying to cram in 10,000 words into 3 days. So I'm going to get some writing done, and I will let you know afterwards what I managed to accomplish. I don't know if I like this lighting. It kind of washes me out a little bit. I don't know. Hey, it is now a little bit longer than 20 minutes later, maybe like 25, 30. Yeah, like 25 minutes later. And I went a little bit longer because I was kind of in the middle of a flow and wanted to finish a thought. So let's call it 25 minutes. In 25 minutes, I got 644 words, but unfortunately, I do need to call it here. Not for the lack of energy or want to, though, but this scene, I'm almost dead. We're going to do this quickly. The scene that I am starting, it's a new chapter and it's officially starting like Act 2. The context of it has just really changed over the course of writing Act 1. I knew that going into it. I think it's part of the reason why I've been avoiding it. So I'm off to a good start, and I think I know how I'm going to repurpose it, but I need to just think through it, and I'm going to do that in bed. That's it. 644 words. I am up to 31,787. So a full 1,000 plus words so far this week. So if I end up not writing tomorrow, at least I'll have less than 9,000 words to go when I get back from the cruise. So my camera is dead. So I'm going to go plug it in and I'm going to get in bed, and hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow. I don't know though. I will though. I still have to pack most of my bag. So I will talk to y'all later. Hey, so it is now Monday, July 28th. Yeah, it happened. I failed. I failed hard, you guys. And honestly, I kind of expected it, and yet somehow should have expected it even more. So yeah, last week I went on vacation. My plan was to write my 1,000 words Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then take Friday through the next Thursday off, right? Because I was going to be traveling and on the cruise. And then pick back up again Friday, Saturday, Sunday for a complete week. But as it turns out, I was so stressed about getting everyone packed and ready to go and making sure my friend was all set up to house sit for us and getting things cleaned up and everything, and just really looking forward to the vacation and getting things tied up at work, that writing just occupied a space in my mind that was very small. And yeah, I really didn't do a whole lot. In fact, I think I wrote something like 1,500 words before I left, maybe less. Let's actually check. Yeah, about 1,500. So I thought, well, I will be so well rested after the vacation that I won't have any problems. We'll be back on Thursday afternoon, so I'll have Thursday evening, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And really, truly, honestly, that was my goal from the very beginning of this challenge. But something happened on the cruise, and that is I realized how much I missed relaxing and engaging in hobbies with my partner and not really worrying so much about maximizing my productivity all the time. And once we got back in town and back into the house, I sort of struggled to want to do anything creative, writing, or making videos or reading even. I wanted to spend more time with my partner. I wanted to do things that were not productive, like play video games or watch baseball without my laptop sitting in front of me so I could also write at the same time, or take extra long baths, or just lay in bed and do nothing. And so I made the decision really early on Friday that I was going to give up this week as a bad job and just accept my punishment if it meant that I could linger in that vacation mode for just a couple more days. And I honestly have no regrets. My punishment is not terrible this week. I do have to deep clean my bathroom by myself, which I am going to save for the weekend. And I will definitely bring you guys along on that journey. Like I said, it's Monday now, so I didn't even film the outro for this during those last 3 days because I wanted to savor the no obligations vacation mode as long as humanly possible. So what can you do? I mean, what can you do? I was on a cruise, okay? You can't expect someone to get off a boat like that. My first time ever, by the way. Never been on one before. It was a completely new experience and I had a lot of fun. If you haven't watched my vlog, go do that. Anyway, and just not want to stay in that feeling and come back and want to think about writing. I did not want to think about it at all. And honestly, like I said, I've kind of looked at this week as like, this might be where I falter because just the chaotic nature of the travel being right in the middle of it. I'm not surprised that I failed. I am sort of surprised that I failed because I gave up a little bit, but not like in a way that I'm like feeling guilty over or that I look back, that I'm looking at on with regret. I do think it was probably the best decision for me to savor and linger in those last few days as much as possible. It is what it is. So I've got a punishment and now it is Monday and I have got to start week 5 of this challenge. So I will leave you with that. Thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate it. If you like my content and want to support the channel, please like and subscribe or consider leaving a comment down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave me a big red X emoji for my first failure of this 12-week challenge. In my next video, I will have my July writing wrap up for you. And despite this week and a half of non-writing time, I think you'll find that I've been highly productive this month. So I hope you look forward to it and I will see you then. Bye.